for the both of you, and then we'll wrap it up from there.
Sounds good.
All right. So, when did your relationship with Jesus begin? And then you know what, you can take as long of an answer as you want. It doesn't have to be a quick answer.
My relationship began when I started my DTS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
Definitely. Well, my relationship started with Jesus when it was like the third day of my discipleship training school, and it was Andy who was teaching. Andy is our base leader.
Yeah.
And he was teaching on surrender.
Okay.
And I never surrendered to the Lord. Like my church never really spoke on like that very much.
Yeah.
My church was just like happy feel type church, you know.
Yeah.
But when I heard about surrender, like I just like my tears started flowing, and I was just like, I feel something like I want to do that, whatever it is. I know what surrender means.
Yeah.
So I want to do it. Like, and that's when it happened, and like my life was just radically changed since then.
Cool. What is y'all's favorite book in the Bible or Scripture? And it doesn't have to be just one. It can definitely be more than one.
I would say my favorite scripture is "For while we were all sinners, Christ died for us."
Nice.
And my favorite book, probably Hebrews. I really love how it digs into the Old Covenant versus the New Covenant and the difference between them and what the cross actually did for us.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, for me, my favorite verse is probably Romans 8:1. It says there is no condemnation for those who are in Jesus. Because,
Nice.
you know, if you know Jesus, you don't have condemnation. There's conviction. It's different. And I also like Romans 12.
Yeah.
And it talks about how, in view of God's mercy, present yourself as a living sacrifice. And yeah, I try my hardest to live by that, you know, by that verse. That's probably, yeah. My favorite book is probably Ephesians.
Okay.
Because I love how it just talks about, you know, the love of God and, you know, Paul's a good dude.
Cool.
Yeah, he is.
What is y'all's favorite book? Like ever? Just outside of the Bible.
I'm going to keep it spiritual here.
Okay.
I'm actually reading it right now, but it's called Back to the Gospel.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, the name of the author, I can't think of it right now, but it's a really powerful book. Kind of like what I was talking about with Hebrews, where it really digs into what did the cross actually do for us.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where it's so much deeper than I think a lot of Christians, you know, ever realize.
Yeah.
And you know, you go to church and you know you hear your whole life like, yeah, Jesus died on the cross for you, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But most of them, like, it's hard to explain like what did that death actually do for you.
Yeah.
So that book really digs into that and dissects that, and it's been incredible.
Okay, cool. What about you?
My favorite book is probably, I read it in my SOMD in my secondary school, and it's called Daring to Live on the Edge.
Okay.
It's by Lauren Cunningham, the founder of Youth with a Mission.
Okay.
Yeah, and it basically just talks about how, like, he has so many stories, just incredible stories of, like, how God has provided for him and how many times God has saved him. And I remember when he was in a really bad accident, and he was on a hill or going up like a mountain or going down, and he flipped his vehicle several times, and his wife flew out of the car. And like she wasn't breathing or anything, and you know, in that moment, you know, you're desperate, and you're like, what am I gonna do? My car's totaled. I'm in the middle of nowhere. My wife's like not breathing. His phone was like, you know, busted and cracked, and both of their phones were done. And like, he just put his hand like on his wife's chest and just started praying and praying and praying, and it was like 5 minutes. And then she took like a huge breath, like it was like gasp. And then like they found a phone, and it wasn't like theirs. And they found it like in the back of the totaled car
Oh, geez.
and called 911. I mean, it's just amazing, like the stories that he had. You should really read it.
Okay.
It's a good book.
Cool. What are y'all's favorite movie? Or top 3 movies?
Ooh. All right.
Okay, I can't keep it Christian here. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Oh.
Let's see, top 3.
I mean, mine's my favorite movie is Forrest Gump.
I mean, that's a good movie.
Not a big fan of that one.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
All right, you can leave.
Let's see, number 3 would probably be Lord of the Rings, the series.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really, really like Lord
Of course.
Old classical movie that I really like. I always watched when I was a kid was Wizard of Oz. I really, really like the Wizard of Oz.
That was the first. That was the first movie to have color in it.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, the Lion, man. The Lion is just he always got me so weak.
Yeah. What's the? Yeah, he does the. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, man, it's funny. Let's see.
No, yeah, dude. People went wild for that movie though when they first saw it at the movie theaters. When they saw the color, like they said, that was like one of the craziest reactions
Really?
a theater like ever had.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
It was like second to some movie. So it was like the first time that they could actually like capture a movie. They recorded. They took a camera and they set it right next to a railroad track, and they had a oncoming train, like go right next to it. It looks like it's gonna go right by you, but everyone, for seeing it for the first time ever, freaked out, and everyone started running out of the theater because they thought the train was gonna come through the screen.
Wow.
They had never seen anything like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's see. And then number 1 would probably have to be. Does it have to be a movie? Can it be a series?
No, it could be a series, a big television show.
I mean, I don't. You watch Netflix?
Yeah, dude.
Have you seen the Punisher series?
Yes,
Dude, I love. That's
Yeah.
probably like my hands down like favorite.
Dude, that's it. Like,
It's a really good story.
out of all the Marvel TV shows, that one's the best.
Definitely, yeah.
That one, then Daredevil,
Daredevil's good too.
then Luke Cage, and then the rest can just get out.
Yeah, trash.
Like, dude,
I watched like the first episode of Jessica Jones. I was like, I can't watch this.
no disrespect to Jessica Jones, but the plot was just not good.
Yeah.
And then freaking Iron Fist, and it was
I didn't
just
even
terrible.
understand that. I didn't understand
It was just terrible. I'm such a critic of the superhero
Yeah,
stuff.
man,
Like,
Punisher.
I feel that though.
It's really.
Did you see the movie? Like the movie of
the past one?
yeah. With
Yeah, I didn't-
John Travolta as the bad guy and everything.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as the series at all.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. What about you?
I would say TV show. You got Prison Break.
Did you cry at the end of it? Because I did.
You know, I'm going to be honest. There was a few tears. But you know, they got another season coming out.
I know.
I don't know what their plan is with that. You know, but really love that TV show. Movie Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay.
Which I guess you could say is Christian.
It is Christian. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
really,
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
He plays this guy that refuses to touch it. It's a real story. He refuses to touch a gun, but he wants to fight in World War II.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm just gonna try to save as many people as I can. That's all. And he got the Medal of Honor for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How many people did he save?
I want to say like 75.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was insane.
That's based on a true story.
Yeah, true story. And it was just really well like acted.
He got some awards for that.
Yeah,
And actually, Andrew Garfield became a Christian after that movie.
that's what I heard.
Because he
That's what I
said when
heard.
he studied, his character and everything, he was so moved by the
Yeah.
story. He was like, "This guy's he's real."
That's what I heard. Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to say, I get two series here: Lord of the Rings, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then also the Bourne series.
Bourne series.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen the most recent one.
Really,
It's
Yeah.
good.
that's,
I need to go see it.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Is it real?
Yeah.
It's really good.
It was a lot better than the fourth one with.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
They kind of veered off.
It kind of seemed like a desperate act of trying to keep the series going. I mean, it wasn't awful, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, overall, one of my favorite series.
Okay. Cool.
And then anything Denzel related.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Training Day.
Oh,
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Gonna throw that one out there.
Yeah.
Man on Fire.
Yes. He was singing that one, and then The Equalizer. What was the one that it was one of my favorite ones. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting it?
Steakhouse?
No. But he's a bad dude in this movie.
I don't even know he played a bad guy.
No, not like a bad guy. He's just a
bad.
I think
bad.
it's either like He Got Game or something else, but he just. Oh no, American Gangster.
Oh,
okay.
Dude,
yeah.
I
don't think I've seen
That
Yeah.
one, that's like I love that movie
Yeah.
because I mean he just
He's good at anything he does.
yeah he is
Just really
he really
good.
is absolutely. So you guys have obviously traveled to a bunch of places. If you could travel anywhere else in the world that you haven't been to yet, where would you go?
Oh my gosh.
Could be top 3.
Well, one, Jamaica.
I feel that.
Dude, just the thought of getting out
feel
on the
that,
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You not gonna lie,
Month.
you'd sing out like a sore throat.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Who is this white boy going up?
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
cool though.
Yeah. Man, Egypt. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, top one, Israel.
Okay.
Israel, yeah. Yeah, just the thought of walking where Jesus walked and seeing that stuff.
That's cool.
Dude,
I want to do that too.
yeah.
There's I keep seeing on social media, there's this company that's offering trips out there. I don't know too much about it, but it's been popping up on my feed. So I'm going to check that out. It's like a summer thing. You can go for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And they just ask that you like take the best possible photos that you can. And then like that's like part of like your job. Like when they send you out there. So it's like go take pictures.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, no, for real. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you more about it after. But yeah, dude, Israel is definitely that's in my top list too.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you?
Well, to be honest with you, the 2 past places I've been to, and we also went to Turkey for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Like Istanbul.
Yeah.
But Northern Cyprus
Mm-hmm.
was it's definitely the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Seriously.
It's like turquoise water, with mountains, and like rocks and all that.
I think it's amazing when we live in places like we do and we go to somewhere like that. We're like, wow, this really exists.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But probably, I really want to go. I want to go to South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love to go to Zambia because I got family out there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Seriously.
Yeah, I mean not like from Zambia, but
Right.
And I'll say South Africa, that was the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Yeah,
Have you been to Cape Town?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for 2 weeks.
Jeez.
But we were actually also in a city called Jeffreys Bay, which is actually where they hold some of the surfing tournaments. Really cool surfing spot, but they actually say
I heard
that
it's just riddled with great white sharks though.
there are.
Okay.
Yeah. But they say out there in Jeffreys Bay is the most beautiful sunsets you'll ever see. And I would have to say it's true.
Okay. Cool. Jeffrey's back.
Jeffreys Bay, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Bucket list. All right, cool. What is the best piece of advice that you guys have ever received in your life? Something that you live by.
Man.
I'm just kidding.
I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to put it.
We'll think it out for a minute. It's totally cool.
I'll let you get first.
No, it's okay.
Actually, here, let me ask this question, and keep that question in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Who are the top 3 people in your life that you look up to?
I'll go back quick. My mom is probably number one.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, shout out mom. Yeah, because she's been through so much.
Yeah, man.
You know, with my dad's situation, and
Moms
it-
don't
it-
get enough credit.
yeah, really, and she raised 3 kids all by herself. You know, and
Jeez.
on top of that, she has, you know, I got a half brother. He basically like hates my mom, but my mom like loves him. And it's really like sad because my mom has a really religious heart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love my mom. I won't talk about it when I start crying. Yeah, but I'd say there's my uncle Bernie.
Okay.
He was like kind of like a father figure to me.
Mom's brother?
Yeah, my mom's brother. Yeah,
In Jesus. There you go.
Yeah, I'd say for me, my pastor back home.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of those guys like he'll go out of his way for me, and you know always looked up to him. He's so selfless. Like I just actually called him yesterday because I'm going home this weekend to see my family, and called him yesterday. Told him I'm coming home, and asked him if I could share. And you know I was expecting like take 5 minutes. And he said, actually, could you share a message? And gave me 15 minutes. And, you know, a lot of pastors don't like to give up their time on stage,
Oh, yeah.
believe it or not. And he's one of those that, you know, even if you call him the day before, if you know, got something to share, you know, he'll let you up there.
Absolutely. That's cool.
Just really inspires me with that selflessness. Other than that, actually, the guy that led my school, he
Like your DTS? Or
yeah,
like, okay.
yeah. He led my DTS and my school administrative development.
Okay.
But I just remember, I think it was the first day of DTS. He shared his testimony to us, and he in his testimony he went through both of his schools, DTS and SOMD,
Yeah.
and he said he left unchanged, and it wasn't until he came back on staff that he really changed his life.
Oh, wow.
And I just like when he said that, like just something stirred in my heart. Was just like I pulled him aside. And I was just like, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want to be that guy that comes, you know, goes through this DTS and leaves, you know, the same person I was when I came. And he really just took me under his wing, and you know, just shared his life with me and walked with me through the hard things, you know, that I experienced, you know, in the schools, on outreach and stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Were you guys able to think of any advice that you had?
Yeah, but I mean, I thought
It doesn't have to be
I
a
thought
sentence.
something better, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, this is what I like live by.
Yeah.
It doesn't like nothing can separate me from the love of God, and you know, another thing is really understanding like what Jesus did on the cross. You know.
Yeah.
And like, I think about it as like, you know, God is the Father,
Yeah.
and then He sent His own Son to die. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine having one son
Right.
and then sending him to get beaten horribly,
Yeah.
and then hung on a cross?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and like that's how much, you know, God loves us.
Yeah.
You know, like He sent His only Son to die.
Yeah.
And you know, once you understand that, like, you're gonna want to follow Him, you know,
Mhm.
because it's amazing how much He really loves us. You know?
I would say, biggest piece of advice. I don't know if it's like biggest piece of advice or like just one of my biggest takeaways was someone. I honestly can't even remember who it was. You know, but someone was just sharing about you'll never regret giving something up for the Lord. You know, whether that's a career, whether that's you know, time,
Yeah.
and you're, and they said when you give something up for the Lord, you're always going to get something back greater than what you gave up. And you know, just like in my testimony about giving up my career and what I wanted to do and make money, I make a lot less money than I was going to make. And yet I'm so much happier doing what I do than I ever was working.
What is y'all's favorite music?
Cool.
All right, let's do this. Favorite music, favorite band or singer, favorite song.
All right. Go for it.
All right.
Let's hear it, worship pastor.
Sorry, it's not worship music. I mean, I dig it. I dig worship music, and there is a lot of nice, worship music out there now. Like that, as a musician, I like grooves. You know what I mean? I like,
I feel
funky
that.
type of, beats.
Do you like soul? Like
yeah,
you
I
like
love
blues
soul.
or
I love
like
soul. Soul's probably, I say like R&B and soul is like probably my favorite. But also I like heavy metal too.
Nice.
I'm a heavy metal guy.
Do you know North Flame?
Yeah, I do.
Quantum Flux.
See, I grew up listening to, the hymnals and stuff, growing up in church.
Yeah, man.
And then I got into metal, because he's actually my brother-in-law now, but we used to,
we used to go hard.
Okay. We listened to like metal music, and that's how I got into metal music, and then like started hanging out with other people, really like rap, got into rap, and I can't freestyle, but I like it.
I tell this to everybody that starts to freestyle with me, like in the same room. I'm like, listen, I appreciate what you're doing, but I'll just go ahead and say this: I promise you, your girlfriend wants you to stop doing that and go get a job. Like, I promise you.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you say favorite artist or favorite?
Yeah, favorite artist or band or whatever.
My favorite artist. See, I know this is going to come across as like, nonchalant or whatever, but I've been following Drake ever since he was, mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? When he came out with mixtapes way back in like 2005,
I
was listening to him, and he's gotten a little poppy, which I don't really like. But his older stuff is like fire.
But I mean, it's still at the same time, if nobody's willing to recognize like what he has accomplished, like even from the song "Successful," I remember hearing that, and I was like, he's gonna do something.
He's up there, man. Like he's probably number one, like making money at least. Like
he's a baller.
Grammys and platinums, and all that stuff.
Yeah. No.
Favorite song. Man, it's gotta be Easy Like Sunday Morning.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did you have you always liked that song, or did you?
Ever since I was little, I love that song. It's just such a smooth song.
It is.
Just puts you in a good mood. Like
you want to sing to it?
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, I got to every time.
Yeah. I feel like you know that song.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows it.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be, my friend literally asked me the other day if I knew "Into the Mystic" by Van Morrison. Y'all know who that is? I'm gonna be mad if y'all don't know who that
I'm
is.
gonna be straight honest with you. I don't know that.
Daggone it! Do you know who Van Morrison is?
Van Morrison?
Daggone it! No. Van Morrison is the man. No, y'all. Oh no. I'm real dumb
how old is he?
He's an old dude, but he did jazz, dude. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
See, I was never.
I never got super into jazz.
He did jazz and soul, and like I'll show you his music after this, and I'll turn you on it. You'll like it. I can tell you'll like it. But
I'll pass on that.
No, okay, yeah. But yeah, so Drake, and then your song is Easy Like Sunday Morning. What about you?
I before I really started following the Lord, really loved rap. Still do. If I want Christian rap, really like NF. he keeps it real. But before Jesus, Eminem, uh, yeah, really liked him.
Used to go hard in middle school.
Yeah.
He just gets you so hyped because he's so angry.
Yeah.
I remember I was at somebody's. So when I was young, I had a babysitter, and she took me over to her boyfriend's house, and her boyfriend had MTV on at all times.
Oh yeah.
And that was when the music video "Without Me"
Yeah.
Eminem came out.
Yeah.
That literally that could have been a psychedelic drug because it literally changed the way I thought. It was like there's more than to life.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll expand your view for sure.
Yeah, it expanded my view.
Yeah. If I had to go, so Christian band for sure, Upper Room.
Okay.
They're a church, but their worship band is phenomenal. And that's definitely my go-to with that. Song wise, if I'm going with worship, So Will I.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
My cousin, he studies at Southern Seminary. He says that is the most scripturally accurate song that he's ever listened to.
Yeah.
It's like a poem almost. Like
Yeah,
it was meant to be a poem.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, going back to secular, Khalid.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I will vibe the Khalid.
He has so much vibe in his music.
Yes.
Where you can just throw it on. That's one of those things that when you're doing something, you can just throw that on and you can just go.
In all seriousness, I would argue every one of his songs are hits.
Yeah.
Oh,
In American Teen, I was actually just looking at that today. American Teen, the amount of hits in that album is just phenomenal.
But it's like his sound and his style.
Yeah.
It's
different.
He's so he's just like the definition of vibe.
Yeah.
That's for real.
Jeez. Yeah, no, you're right, dude.
Yeah.
I feel that. What about favorite song?
Favorite song, actually gonna stick.
You said So Will I, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
Yeah, but
Secular.
yeah,
I didn't say
favorite worship is heathen. No, favorite worship, So Will I. But if I'm going secular, definitely something by Khalid. There's a few that come to mind. One is Shot Down by and another one is Cold Blooded.
Yeah. Do you like Angels?
Yeah.
I love that one.
It is a good song.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, if you can give the audience a little piece of advice or something about yourself that you would want them to know, what would you say?
Yeah. I would say, honestly, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways you could go in life. And I don't know if it's going to sound cliche or not, but kind of like that advice I received earlier about just surrender. You're not going to regret, giving something to the Lord. And I would definitely say with your life, when you put the Lord first in everything you do, there's definitely so much joy in that.
Yeah.
That's something that I've really been kind of relearning lately. Is just a lot of times even after pursuing the Lord for 3 years, I can get in that mindset of okay, I have to read my Bible, I have to spend time with them, and the joy can kind of leave that.
Yeah.
But when you really get back to the basics, Christianity is so simple.
Right.
And it's really just about walking in a relationship with God. And when you take time to get away with Him, when you take time to dig into the Word, not out of I have to, but when you realize that the God of the universe wants to spend time with you.
Because you got to make sure not to turn it into a checklist.
Yeah, for sure. And because you can do it as a checklist, but where's that actually get you?
Exactly.
But when you do it out of desire, out of relationship, when you do it because man, the God that when you think about the fact that God created the sun, the moon, the stars, everything you see that's beautiful, and yet He left heaven and came down to earth for us.
Yeah.
And when you see that, like you cannot help but run after him. And so I would just say like if God's tugging on your heart, you're not going to regret giving him everything.
Yeah.
You will regret giving him some stuff.
Yeah.
If you just give up part and you're like, I'll give you this, but I'm going to hang on to this, you're going to regret that later.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to find full fulfillment. But when you really just give him everything, and you say like, the Bible calls us to die to ourselves. It says, pick up your cross and follow him. And so right there, that verse, I guess, is the advice I give. Pick up your cross and follow him.
Okay. What about you, Brother Nathan?
Yeah, for me, it's almost kind of ties in with what Brian was saying. But one thing is the most important thing for me is surrender isn't just like a one-time thing. You know, like the first time I surrendered to the Lord, it was amazing, and I felt just like awesome and like amazing, like like kind of like what they call like a Jesus high or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's like a everyday thing for me.
I feel that.
Like when I wake up, if when I have my time with Jesus, in the morning, like I'll get on my knees and I surrender and say like God, this is your day, not mine.
Yeah.
And I'm here to serve, and like you put me on this earth to serve, and like if you look at Jesus, Jesus of course was a leader, but like what did he do to his disciples? He washed their feet. They didn't wash his.
Yeah.
And like I believe that that's one of the most like powerful things in like the Bible, and like just seeing that Jesus came to serve, not to lead.
Yeah, man. Well, that's cool. Well, guys, I think this has been super educational, super enlightening. I think anybody that listens to this is going to learn a great deal from you guys and about YWAM and stuff. I really do.